agreed on a bill. And you know what? They got scared because President Musk told them, President Musk said, don't do it. Don't do it. Shut the government down. Imagine. What does he know about what people go through is when the government shuts down? Are his employees furloughed? Hell no. Is he furloughed? No. And when you shut the government down, people don't get paid. And maybe if none of us got paid if the government shut down, some people on the other side of the aisle would feel differently.
Co-president Elon Musk just got his first real taste of political humiliation, and he is losing his mind over it. Because as we saw earlier this week, as Congress was putting together a continuing resolution to keep the government open, Elon Musk had the bright and genius idea that he thinks that all this government waste needs to be cut. And specifically in one area, pediatric cancer research. Yes, the richest man in the world decided he wanted to steal $190 million from kids with cancer. And of course, Elon Musk was called out for that promptly and bipartisanly, but one specific Democratic member of Congress slammed Elon Musk for this decision in a way that has him melting down. And that was Congresswoman Rosa DeLauro, who took to the House floor to crush Elon Musk, and it led to a complete meltdown from him that we are going to get into. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way, and it really means the world to me. Now let's get into this speech and then meltdown for Musk.
Mr. Speaker, I rise in opposition to this continuing resolution. We had a strong bipartisan and bicameral agreement among the leadership of both parties at both ends of the Capitol to avert a disastrous and pointless government shutdown, to provide desperately needed disaster aid and emergency assistance, and to provide Congress with the time required to enact full-year funding bills for fiscal year 2025, which is our responsibility. That bill was a result of a compromise. There were things in it Democrats liked and Republicans did not. There were things in it Republicans liked that Democrats would have preferred to leave out. But that is the nature of government funding bills. They require compromise, which we did, which we accomplished, and the support of Democrats and Republicans in the House and in the Senate in order to become the law of the land. That was true throughout the 118th Congress, despite Republicans' repeated and failed efforts to write extreme and partisan funding bills. And that will be true in the 119th Congress as well. We are on the cusp of an agreement to move this country forward. But 2 days ago, a multi-billionaire with apparently no working knowledge of our government or of appropriations, someone who was a self-appointed president of the United States, Elon Musk, issued a marching order for House Republicans to go against their own elected leadership. Shut down the government. Shut down the government. House Republicans are responsible for any harm and uncertainty brought upon the American people. And should some get their wish for a month-long government shutdown, they will be responsible for cleaning up their mess come Inauguration Day. Indeed, we are in completely unprecedented times when someone who has no knowledge of government, who has no knowledge of an appropriations process, who is external to the House of Representatives, can make his weight felt here in turning what was a bill that was on its way, a bipartisan bill, a bicameral bill, was on its way to achieving its goal of keeping the U.S. government open. And the goal, actually, is providing services to American citizens, to working families, middle-class families, vulnerable families, where our responsibility lies. The world's richest man, reaping billions in government contracts, is calling the shots in the Republican Party. At the behest of the world's richest man, who no one voted for, the United States Congress has been thrown into pandemonium. It leads you to the question of who is in charge. I thought that there was a Republican majority in this body, not a President Musk majority. We had a bill on Tuesday that was the result of a year and a half of work, and which had the input, as I've said, of Republicans and Democrats. It represented their interests, the interests of their constituents, their concerns, the needs of their constituents. The bill had no such bipartisan, this bill that we're discussing right now has no such bipartisan input.
Now, before we play the rest of that speech, and it is so worth watching, it's the reason why we're going to watch it all. I wanted to hop in and see what Elon Musk had as a response to this brutal takedown with this tweet. Right here, a MAGA Twitter user reported Elon Musk is now calling for Democratic Representative Rosa DeLauro to be expelled from Congress. Yes. Elon Musk is so upset and can't control himself when being called out for a disgusting action he took, wanting to cut pediatric cancer research. Really? That's government waste, that now he has resorted to saying that people should be expelled from Congress for calling him out. This is oligarch Elon, and of course, this is what MAGA is all about. Anyone who disagrees with them is an enemy of the state. They should be expelled from Congress. We have to get rid of them. It's a crime to speak out against them, which is why we need to speak out against them even more, and it's the reason I want to watch the rest of this speech.
I'm a cancer survivor. I know what it means to have a cancer diagnosis. I know what it means when parents say your child has cancer. And we want to remove the provision that supports research into treatments and cures for childhood cancer. It drops necessary pandemic preparedness and response programs, including the Strategic National Stockpile. I know something that my colleagues on the other side of the aisle are very concerned about and always work to protect what we do with the Strategic National Stockpile. Also, it drops the necessary efforts for our hospital preparedness programs. And that's hospitals all over the country. And I might add, where that's really a big problem is in rural America and hospitals, which were clamoring for these efforts. And as well, shortchanges programs to prepare for future public health emergencies like bird flu, which we now know is striking people on the west coast of this country, California. This bill also abandons our bipartisan efforts to ensure American dollars and intellectual property are reinvested in American businesses and workers instead of fueling the Chinese Communist Party's technology and capabilities. I am deeply disappointed that this bipartisan priority was abandoned after President Elon Musk bullied Republicans into going back on their word. Musk, who got rich off of $20 billion in federal contracts for his companies, he now makes half of his company's cars at Tesla. Tesla's $7 billion plant is in Shanghai. He clearly does not want to have to answer any questions about how much he plans to expand his business and businesses in China, and how many American technologies he plans to sell to the highest bidder. There's chapter and verse, many more pieces of fact about his relationship with China. And he has spent last few years cozying up to the Chinese Communist Party to protect his own business interests. The fight is not over. This is something that simply must be done to safeguard our supply chains and our critical capabilities. American policy should be set on behalf of America's workers, not billionaires who cozy up to communist China. We must immediately return to considering the bipartisan, bicameral compromise legislation.
Elon Musk, to me, is the perfect poster boy of the Republican Party. He is rich as hell. He is even more corrupt than he is rich, and even more than all of those things. He's incompetent. Elon Musk and B. Ramaswamy talk about wanting to cut the fat in the government, trim the waste. And I agree, when there is fuel spending in the government, we should cut it. But pediatric cancer research, isn't that Medicare and Social Security, isn't that the 2.3 to 2.7% of the government budget that is made up by government employees? That's not the place that we cut it. Those are important jobs that protect the social safety net and make sure that our government is actually functioning, something that Elon Musk doesn't understand. And so Elon, to me, is the perfect person that we need to frame all of our political discussions about and around, because L doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't know what he's saying. And he is only trying to act in the most corrupt ways to serve himself and to serve his pocketbook. Yes, a man worth $400 billion doesn't have enough money in his mind, and he wants to take it from you through the government, through Donald Trump, and through the MAGA majority in the House and the Senate. That's not what our government should be doing. It shouldn't be serving Elon. It should working for us and their fake populism to distract their culture wars, to distract. No, we're not going to let it. We're going to continue to call him out every single day. And if you want to support that work on this show, as always, you can hit that subscribe button. You can leave a like on this video, and if you stuck around at the end, you drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you soon.